Today, Selena Bennett from Communities in Schools and Bre VanHook from Communities in Schools joins us, and we're happy to have you here. How you been?
Doing well. How are you?
It's great to see you. I'm doing wonderful.
Very good.
Thank you for being here. You've been so busy, you haven't been here in a while.
That's right.
So bring us up to date. Communities in Schools, what's going on?
How long do we have?
Well, we'd like to get done before Christmas.
Okay, all right. First of all, we have just finished our school year. So we've been in the middle of winding down end-of-year reporting and those pieces of information that are very important for our funding purposes, because all of our funders want to know about our results. We have just finished our Days of Action book drive. We participated in the United Way Days of Action project this year, and we partnered with the Wayne County Partnership for Children and the Wayne County Public Library. Did a tremendous book drive for children birth through ages 9. So we still have books coming in.
Do you really?
And those books will be distributed to children right here in Wayne County.
Wonderful.
And if any group is out there or any individual cleaning closets this summer and they still have books that they want to give us, they can either call me at the Communities in Schools office, or they can call Charlie Ivy at the Partnership for Children, because we never turn away anything that people would like to give us.
Right.
And believe it or not, we are cranking up for our Stuff the Bus school supply drive.
Already?
Even though we just got out of school, it's time to start organizing and planning.
Yes, it is.
Our friends at the Goldsboro News-Argus always do the signature event, which is our kickoff for the school supply drive, and we have that scheduled for Friday, August the 4th.
Okay.
So we're doing it the first Friday in August, which gives us time to count and box and sort and get supplies delivered to the schools before the school hosts their open houses.
Now, you've been doing this a number of years, and somebody may be new to the Wayne County area.
Yes.
Give me a little background on the Stuff the Bus.
Stuff the Bus is our big school supply drive where we literally drive a school bus to the parking lot at the Goldsboro News-Argus. And the Goldsboro News-Argus staff has so graciously hosted this event, and we have some volunteers from our board who will go out throughout the day. People bring in school supplies. The bus is literally filled by the end of the day.
Stuff the bus. That's
and
it.
then we
Cram it in there, right?
Put all those supplies, even up under the seats if we need to. But we take those supplies, Wayne, and we divide them up among all the schools in the county, because we know some schools are already receiving some supplies from churches and other groups, but we want to be sure that there is something going to every school in the county. And of course, there again, we take school supplies at any time of the year. We also have a number of people that will give us a monetary donation for those school supplies, and we can utilize those donations to purchase items that maybe we are in short supply of.
And this very simply stated is that times are tough. Times are always tough.
They are.
And local, city, county, state, national governments are always trying to do what they can to help.
Yes.
In many ways as they can, but they can't always do it all.
That's exactly right.
So we don't always get the supplies or the money we need to help our children with the supplies in school.
Yes, that is correct. And I have one volunteer who is so faithful every year. She starts shopping usually after Christmas. Anytime there is a sale, she starts and zeroes in on those school supplies, and she will come every year and will have a trunk full of school supplies.
Really?
And she says this is just something that she and her husband love to do to give back to the community. And every year, her car is filled with supplies. And we look for her. We know about what time she's coming. And it's just like a tremendous celebration for all of us, because she has shopped so carefully every year for these school supplies.
She's a hero.
She is a hero.
Really, truly
she is
a
one
hero.
of our unsung heroes.
You know, we need to get more people to do that.
Yes, we do.
Just put forth an effort.
Yes. It's a great way to give back to the community. And I want to give a shout out to one of our local banks before I turn the program over to Ms. VanHook this morning. I want to tell you what PNC Bank did for us this year. They gave us an opportunity. They provided a grant for us that we distributed among our middle schools that we work with.
Right.
And this money was used to take middle school students on college tours. And the middle schools that participated were Grantham, Brogdon Middle, and Mount Olive Middle. And they went to local colleges. They attended field trip opportunities at Wayne Community, Lenore Community, the University of Mount Olive. They went to Duke University. There were a variety of places, and they went to North Carolina Central on a tour.
Oh, my goodness.
And
That's
the
wonderful.
letters that we have had from these children thanking PNC Bank for this wonderful opportunity. And so that's just another example of how a business is giving back to this community. And we're just so fortunate to have businesses that are interested in doing things for our students right here in Wayne County.
That is just wonderful. Perhaps PNC has set a precedent.
PNC has been a great partner. We just received a grant from Wells Fargo also.
Wonderful.
And we will probably earmark those funds for a similar kind of activity this year. So a big shout out to PNC Bank and a special thank you to Wells Fargo for their continued funding for us also.
That's wonderful.
We can't do it without the help of business sponsors, churches, and civic groups.
That's so true. That's so true. It's all part of the community.
It is a big part of the community.
Giving children the necessary items they need to learn as best they can.
Wayne, I have brought our teen court director, Miss Bre VanHook, with us today.
Outstanding. Bre, it's been a long time since you've been here.
It has. Nice to see you again.
It's great to see you as well. So,
Bre has some great information to share with us today about a special project that teen court participated in with the Wayne County Bar Association.
okay.
And I felt like she could do a much better job of that than I could. So I am going to turn the program over to Miss VanHook.
Outstanding. Very good. First of all, Bre, if you would, for anyone who is not familiar with the teen court, give me if you would summarize.
Okay.
What is it?
Teen Court is a diversionary program that gives kids charged with misdemeanors a second chance to keep their criminal record clean. What a lot of people don't know is that the 16 to 18-year-olds must be referred from district court. So when they come to teen court from district court, they already have the charge on their record. And so if they complete teen court, the charge is dismissed, but it still shows up on their record as a dismissed charge.
So covering a few things, first of all, there's some things that people also need to know. These are first offenders. They have pled guilty.
Yes.
To a misdemeanor charge.
To a misdemeanor charge.
Yes.
This is only misdemeanor.
Only misdemeanor charges.
There's no felonies or anything like that.
No felonies.
Only misdemeanors. And they are judged by their peers.
They are.
Correct.
The jury is made up of the same age.
Correct.
Right, and mostly kids who have gone through teen court as well.
Who've already gone through teen court. What about the judge and the prosecuting attorney and the defending attorney?
The judge is always either a Wayne County judge or a licensed attorney. The defense attorney and the prosecutor are our teen volunteers.
So the judge is an actual judge.
Yes.
And the attorneys are trained by Ms. VanHook.
And you're an attorney.
That's right.
You studied where?
North Carolina Central School of Law.
Outstanding. They have a new president, don't they?
They do.
Yes. Now, the teen court meets how often?
We meet the first and third Tuesday of every month for teen court, so twice a month.
Okay, twice a month. And this is to be taken very serious. This is not just playing. This is real, isn't it?
It is.
And it stays on their record until when? Or is it there forever, permanently?
Well, for the 16 to 18-year-olds, they have 90 days to complete the program. If they complete it within the 90 days, They also have to go back to district court at a later date for me to tell the judge whether they completed the program.
Okay.
So if they complete the program, the charge gets dismissed after they go back to district court. But it still stays on their record unless they get it expunged.
Let's talk about that. What do you call that?
An expunction is what we're talking about today.
Expunction.
Expunction.
Expunction. So what's an expunction?
Well, with expunctions, you basically fill out a form and you have it signed off by a judge and sent to the SBI. And if it's approved, then the charge no longer shows up on your record when using a state or federal website. However, as we warned some of our kids, some of the private softwares for background checks do still contain this information, but people are not supposed to use those websites. And so if you get it expunged, it pretty much never happened.
What are some of the crimes that these youngsters are charged with when they go before teen court?
Mostly simple affray, which is fighting, possession of marijuana.
Well, I can understand the fighting thing, you know, because at that age, you get excited.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We also get a lot of possession of marijuana, less than a ½ ounce, and a lot of larcenies.
Larcenies. So they go before teen court, they're found guilty because they pled guilty already.
Right, they've already pled guilty.
And they agree to this. So when what is the program through which they go for this?
So with teen court, they come on their teen court night and they meet our teen volunteers. They take an oath and they get on the witness stand. They're asked questions by their defense attorney and by the prosecutor and the judge sometimes. And then the jury goes to the back, they deliberate, and they give what we call a constructive sentence, which is community service, teen court jury duty sessions, the Think Smart program where we have them talk to a speaker about making smarter decisions, and we scare them about prison life a little bit too.
Good.
And they might be asked to write an essay or a letter of apology. And if they do all of this within the 90 days, then they successfully completed the program.
The idea, these are first offenders, and the idea is to catch these youngsters before it gets worse.
And to
right.
keep them in school.
To keep them in school.
They must be enrolled in school before we can accept them into the program. So if they're not in school and they want to go through this program, they've got to hurry up and figure out how they're going to get back in school.
Have we measured any sort of success rate?
We have.
Every year. Every year. And our success rate on an average has been from 95 to 97%.
Oh my goodness.
We are very, very happy with the success that we have had with this program. And I always have to explain to people, the funding for this program comes from the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council and United Way. Currently, United Way funding is what allows us to serve the 16 to 18-year-olds. Now, we are looking at the Raise the Age legislation, which is going to change the way some things are handled with juveniles in the state of North Carolina. That will be another discussion, but just know that the new legislation is going to change the 16 to 18-year-old age group. They will be considered juveniles instead of adults in the state of North Carolina.
Right.
So we have a lot of exciting things on the forefront, and the mission is kids sometimes make poor choices. This is an opportunity for them to make it better and to learn from their mistake, because ultimately we want them in school, not in jail, not in prison. We want them in school, we want them to graduate, and we want them to be successful, productive citizens who can give back to the community.
Understanding, of course, that their actions have consequences.
Yes, their actions have consequences.
How many children, 16 to 18, go through this program?
I'd say, well, total kids, period, we have over 120 every year. So I'd
Every
say,
year?
Yes. So I'd say about half of that is in the 16 to 18-year-old category, and then the other half is probably in the 12 to 15 range.
We haven't talked much about the 12 to 15 range. Now, is this do they have the same issues as far as the crimes involved?
They have it a little bit easier because if they complete teen court, then they do not have juvenile charges filed against them.
Okay.
So their record stays completely clean unless they don't complete teen court.
And if they don't complete teen court, or once they get into the program and they mess up somehow, then what happens then?
Then the officer, in their discretion, can file a juvenile petition against them in juvenile court.
And 16 to 18-year-olds, what if they don't complete that program?
They go back in front of the judge, and the judge gives them a sentence.
Is that they go back in front of teen court?
No.
They go to real court. I mean, not that this is not real court. They go to adult court or to juvenile court.
That's exactly right.
District court.
District court. And that's when it can really get serious.
Right. They all have to go back to district court for me to tell the judge whether they were successful. And if they're not successful, they get a sentence.
And what you don't want is Ms. VanHook to go before Judge Brantley or Judge Gaylor or Judge James and say, this student did not successfully complete the program.
That's really got to be tough on you.
It really is. I hate to see it happen, but
I know you do.
you know, when you do all you can do to help someone.
Well, you're giving them, they're getting a second chance here.
And there's no reason why they cannot complete it.
That's right.
It's in their hands once they go through their teen court night, because Ms. VanHook is there to lead them through the community service, to help them every step of the way. And fortunately, the majority of our kids take the ball and they run with it and they complete it successfully.
I would say so, since you have a 90 or so percent, 95% chance of
Yes.
success with these. That 5 to 10% who do not make it, that's a very low number, but
That's
still,
right.
those are individuals who
You
somewhere
want-
along you want them to make
You
it.
want 100%.
You want 100.
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. And this is just such a great partnership between the Wayne County Bar Association, between the Sheriff's Department, the DA's office, the school resource officers, and the school system. It takes everybody working together. And the expunction clinic that they had was a partnership between the young Wayne County attorneys, the Wayne County Bar Association. Judge Brantley helped to get this organized. The DA's office worked with us, and then Ms. VanHook was there.
And all of these entities, these departments, these agencies that you mentioned, they're all highly supportive of this.
Yes.
They are.
We know they are.
Yes, and it takes all. It takes the entire community working together to keep this program moving forward.
Chances are, if this program was not in place, all of these youngsters, or a high number of them, high percentage, would end up
With charges.
with charges, in jail, going
And-
down that path.
And every county in North Carolina does not have a teen court program. Some counties do and some counties do not. But we're just very fortunate that this program has been well established for about 17, 18 years now in Wayne County. Very fortunate.
And I know those that would consider starting a teen court can come to Wayne County and learn from it. Because
Yes.
you were very successful with this program.
And we collaborate with other teen courts in the state as well.
Great. All right. Very good. Well, Bre, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you again, too.
Bre VanHook is the coordinator,
Teen
director,
court director.
director of our teen court here in Wayne County. And you are Communities in Schools. Miss Communities in Schools here. Selena Bennett, we thank you very much for being
Thank
here.
you so
Good
much.
to see you.